the path of manifestation versus the path of renunciation, or to renounce everything. I'm going to be talking briefly about these two paths. And from our findings, we're going to try and decide whether or not both of these paths, manifestation and renunciation, are actually both paths of manifestation, but just different kinds of manifestation, different expressions, the same path. Let's find out. So first of all, we're going to look at the path of renunciation, or to renounce everything that you have. This is the very real experience in your life that you come to, the decision that you come to, the realization that you come to, when you reach the conclusion that the physical dimension has left you feeling empty inside, and you're not quite sure why you feel empty. You might not have the insight to have looked into spiritual matters and analysed this field of exploration too much. You might not really know what it is you're feeling, but you know something inside is not quite right. You have all sorts of nice things around you. You see to be nice, know to be nice. You might have a nice house, for example, a nice car, nice job. But you know there's something missing. Now, the path of renunciation on the surface can seem a little drastic and very abrupt, very black and white, because of the way it seems to deal with absolutes. And maybe this path even seems totally logical sometimes, but it is to renounce everything. Everything that you have, ultimately. So to let go of your house, let go of your car, your possessions, to let go of your job. Essentially, what we're talking about here is to give up everything of the physical dimension in order to forge a closer relationship with the life-giving force of the universe, to get rid of all the clutter in our life that's holding us back from developing a stronger connection with the universe, with the divine. Now, it could be that people have had echoes, sensations of this all-permeating, life-giving energy of the universe, and yet never really felt like they've broke through. And they know intuitively, on a feeling level, that the things around them are holding them back on some level, in some way. They understand this, and so they give up everything and give over everything to the universe in a grand act of personal sacrifice. Quite a thing, that. At its apex, what we're talking about here is the yogi, spiritual person, spiritual seeker, going up to the top of a mountain in order to be closer to the universe, the life-giving force of the universe, to turn their back, his or hers, on humanity and the physical dimension in order to forge a stronger connection with the cosmos. Because they know that receiving the healing energy of the universe will fill them up. Intuitively, intrinsically, they know this, and bring them peace, bring them joy and contentment. And it will. This will happen. And this is one recognized path of spirituality. This is the path of renunciation. What do we find when we take this path to its conclusion, though? Yes, there's a stronger connection with the universe, the cosmos, through meditation and zero responsibility and through having no clutter in the yogi's life. But what's really happened to them regarding their spiritual transformation? I mean, this person has gone down this road to a polar opposite of the physical dimension, will have a simple shack over their heads to protect them from the elements, the wind and the rain and so forth. They'll have nothing around them, really, just the bare minimum in order to survive. This is minimalism, spoken about in various religions like the Shakers and the Quakers, the Sufis, the Sufi religion. It's letting go of everything that you have in order to be close to the life-giving love energy of the cosmos, because that ultimately is the divine healing force and the only thing that matters. And that is a true path. That's a respected path, and there's nothing wrong with that path. But if you take it to its conclusion, if you move on many years past the apex of the yogi's ascension to the centre of the cosmos, where they have received everything that they needed to receive, and they have healed in profound karmic ways, and they've ascended because they've uncluttered their life, they've renounced everything, what tends to happen is their light, their spiritual light, begins to shine so bright because they have gained so much energy. They've manifested so much spiritual energy because of their choices, sacrifices, and lifestyle, that they have become a light for the world. And so the whole of the world, the people of the world, the whole of humanity are slowly drawn up the mountain to where the yogi sits in order to converse with, connect with, be healed by the yogi that has received so much divine energy at this point, at this time, that he, she is overflowing with energy, and so they have to give back. They have no choice but to give back. The chalice that has received so much energy that it is overflowing with energy has no choice but to give back. It's simply a necessary consequence of receiving so much. And so the receiver becomes the giver. They have no choice but to become the giver, and they give back. And at this time, they are happy to give back. This is the transformation from receiver to giver, and giving unconditionally. So in the end, the yogi doesn't actually escape anything. In the long run, they don't escape humanity or their responsibilities, or their responsibility to serve humanity. In the long run, humanity comes to them. It's the old adage, isn't it, the old one, that if Muhammad cannot go to the mountain, then the mountain is moved to Muhammad. The mountain here, paradoxically, referring to humanity. So, if the yogi, the spiritual seeker, cannot go out there on a pilgrimage, or will not go into the world to heal the world, well, the world will come to them through the power of renunciation. And shining so bright as a result of that renunciation that the world can do nothing but see that light. So that's one path, that's a recognised path. And then there's the other path, the path of manifestation. And how does this path differ to the first path? Well, it's exactly the opposite to renunciation. It is to build up something in the world that will outlive our physical incarnation. A light in the world, in the physical dimension, that will draw other people to us and to it. In order for those people to be healed, this is the path of manifestation. This is the path of spirituality finding its expression through materialism, through enriching objects and places that in turn can actually heal people. Places and objects that can tell a story of light and of life. And creativity and art and all this kind of spiritual expression, physical expression that you can reach out and touch, falls into the path of manifestation, to create something in the physical world that draws people in and that can heal people long after your incarnation on this planet, in this plane, long after your life on this level has come to an end. So we're talking about a legacy of light in the world in the physical dimension, like the yogi on the mountaintop, but in a different way that will outlast your physical life and live on to heal others who come after you. And that's the path of manifestation. We're on a path of manifestation, are we not? So that's the two separate paths: renunciation, manifestation. But are they two separate paths? Really? Are they? Think about it. Or are they two expressions of the one same path to manifest a divine light in the world in two different ways: spiritually through the yogi, physically through creative works, but to manifest nonetheless? I say that both paths are really one path with two expressions.